What is going on, ladies and gents? Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
How you guys
Hello.
doing this week?
I'm good. I'm
I
good.
feel nice and rested.
How you doing, Anna?
I'm here. Nexus is here, Nexus was here, and Nexus will forever be.
Can we
Hi.
Nexus came, she washed, she conquered.
before we jump into anything, can we talk about the void really quick?
What, there's a ghost haunting our call?
We have a ghost in the podcast, our special guest this week. Tell us about yourself.
Hi.
That's all he knows how to say, guys. It's fine. Well,
That's
welcome,
what he
guys.
died saying.
Episode 8 of the podcast. We've got some good topics for you guys. We've got UFOs. We've got bizarre things in gaming happening. We've got
We're talking about my
Vikings.
dad, we're talking about your dad, and we're talking about our collective dads.
This is a dad cast now, so I hope you guys know that. This is the dad cast.
Luigi is the dad that was.
Yeah, and
And he's the
now
dad
he's
that
in the
is.
void.
I'm the dad that will be.
Undead dad. Oh my god. All right, but no, starting off the topics this week, Hannah's actually got a pretty interesting topic that some of you guys might or might not have seen on Twitter, social media, even the news. It's not getting that much coverage, but it should. What do you have for us?
Yeah, so again, like I don't know if you guys I would be surprised if anybody hasn't seen this, but it's also not been like hugely circulated news. The Pentagon has released 3 videos depicting what they're calling unidentified aerial phenomena. It's UFOs. Come on.
Well,
These videos were released by a private company, and the Pentagon confirmed that these videos are real. Like these are actual videos that they show unidentified flying objects just rapidly moving and flying around, recorded with infrared camera.
so when you say
So
the UFOs are real, I assume you're not talking about unidentified flying objects, because we know that's what they are. What are you actually talking about?
uh words. I don't know enough.
Are
I'm
you talking
sorry.
about
The
aliens?
aliens.
The
The
aliens.
aliens.
The aliens.
SpongeBob. The aliens would like a word with you.
I was thinking about that all day. I think this is like really eye-opening to me because reading this article, it did say that for a very long time that this footage was classified. Um, so it kind of like alerts me a little bit. Uh, why they didn't really release it to the public right away, or
Well, as Hannah said, it wasn't their footage initially.
oh, that's right. It was by that company. What was the company's name again? It is
Hold on, I'm
so
I'm gonna bring up the article. So the U.S. Navy also confirmed that the videos are the real deal, and when they say the real deal, they're not saying that they're actually aliens. They're saying that no, the footage is not photoshopped or doctored, rather, in any
Yeah.
way. Looking
the Stars
the
Academy.
Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences, yeah. Um, there were clips released by the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences. I don't really know. They're talking about like footage from 2004.
Mhm.
There's a footage from 2015. So in terms of our timeline, we're talking a very large amount of time in between these. But Hannah, what do you
Yes.
what do you think about the situation before we jump into the article?
So like of the Pentagon releasing this information.
I want to hear your thoughts on whatever you feel like sharing about.
So these videos got released by a private company, and I think that the Pentagon was really just trying to clear up, like, hey, these aren't fake. These are like legit things. We're not entirely sure what they are. Kind of, in my opinion, I talked about this before the show, subtly confirming the existence of aliens. I mean, let's be real here. It would be a little bit selfish and just absolutely ridiculous to think that we are the only life forms in the universe, and it wouldn't be too far off with the age of our universe, age of the universe, for there to be much higher intellectual life for this to be potentially that. But again, it's just an unidentified object.
Right.
So
That's
so
fair.
who knows? They do say that it could potentially be a drone. They're not sure what it is, but with
So,
the videos, some of the videos being released, it it does not look like such.
well, one of the pilots who was recording the videos, and I remember hearing this, is actually said during the recording that it was a drone. In just one of the videos, not it's not a common thing between them.
Yeah.
I just want to state that while we're talking about the Pentagon, I have a friend who has a perfectly pentagonal head, and every time you say the Pentagon, I think my friend released this footage. Kenny, do
Do
you
I
know
know this
Aaron?
person?
Stop.
Oh,
I used to call Aaron the Pentagon.
God
Oh.
damn it, dude.
I said the government keeps its secrets in your head, and I would poke him in the chest.
I have a question though. If it is a drone, I just want to know, like, whose drone is it? Like, does it belong to us? Does it belong to another country?
No, I'm not sure we are equipped to actually show the footage on stream right now.
No, not
But
right now.
we can provide a link in the YouTube video and at least in chat. I can drop the link in chat right now.
For anyone watching
But
live.
it's pretty interesting footage. It's a little inexplicable the way the object is moving, but I want to jump into the article a little bit. I want to read a little bit. I want to hear our thoughts on it if that sounds good to you guys.
Yeah, that's fine
All
by
right.
me.
So this is from CNN Politics for some reason.
Great.
They say, well, I should say Michael Conte from CNN says, the Pentagon has officially released 3 short videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena that had previously been released by a private company, and that private company being the one that Luigi and I discussed shortly. It seems to be like a university. I don't really know, whether they're credible, but the Navy confirmed that these videos are not doctored, so that has to mean something. The videos show what appear to be unidentified flying objects rapidly moving while recorded by infrared cameras. 2 of the videos contain service members reacting in awe at how quickly the objects are moving. One voice speculates that it could be a drone, and I mentioned that. The Navy previously acknowledged the veracity of the videos in September of last year. They are officially releasing them now in order to clear up any misconceptions by the public on whether or not the footage that has been circulating was real or whether or not there is more to the videos, according to the Pentagon spokesperson Sue Gao. I'm just going to read this last quote. After a thorough review, the department has determined that the authorized release of these unclassified videos does not reveal any sensitive capabilities or systems, said Gao in a statement, and does not impinge on any subsequent investigations of military airspace incursions by unidentified aerial phenomena. So essentially, what they're saying here is that they are not looking into these UFOs. They do not deem them worthy of looking into at the moment. So they're not crossing any lines with any investigations or anything, which is why they deemed them acceptable to release to the public. So they're not revealing any secrets as well, but that's not as pertinent, I think, is the fact that they are not stepping on any toes. So given that the military has deemed these sightings as something not really worth looking into, what do you guys think that? What do you guys think the implications are of a statement like that? Because I have a few in mind.
Aliens.
You think it's aliens because they don't think it's worth looking into?
I personally think that they're just saying that.
Well,
Like,
I
I
know
I
that
don't
they might just be saying that, but their biggest concern is putting their pilots' lives at risk. It's like the whole safety
So
type of deal.
to play devil's advocate, the information that they gave seems accurate.
Yeah.
Um, it's I understand that they could be looking into it, but why would they release it at all if they looked into it? Personally, my brother's in the Navy and they keep their stuff on lockdown, man. Like they are very serious about where their information goes.
They don't like just letting it go to anybody. So I don't know. It's
So
just
when
kind of
you
weird.
say, I'm sorry, when you say that they're just saying that, what exactly do you mean?
I I think it's something more along the lines of like it's nothing, like just kind of pushing it aside when really they're probably going to end up having a team kind of investigating what's going on, at least somewhat. Um, I like I don't think that they're really just not going to be looking into it at all. Because what would be the reason of releasing any of this information? Why are you saying, "Oh, it's not important," but you're still
Well,
releasing it anyways?
so I think I may have misstepped when I posed it the way it did, because the quote did not say that they do not deem it worth looking into. They do not deem it worth looking further into, because, like I said, some of this footage is from the early 2000s, which means that they have had plenty of time to speculate and look into it and investigate.
Oh,
So I think that when they say things like that, I really don't think that there is any contradictions in how they went about it.
that's very fair.
So that said, personally, when I hear a quote like that, it makes me think that they don't think it is any type of military drone from another country or anything of you know, a critical threat to the American public or anything like that. I don't really know what their criteria is for whether they'd like to look further into something. Maybe they've gotten to a point where they just admit they don't know what it is. Maybe it's an anomaly on camera, given the amount of time apart that the footage was.
Hmm.
What do you guys think these things could be?
I
Well,
I kind of at this point, after like seeing the quotes and stuff and actually reading into it, um, I know I joked around saying aliens. Like I don't know what it is. Honest to God, I don't know what it possibly could be, because I feel like even the people in the video that are like it could possibly be a drone, like they weren't sure about it. They have no idea. So I don't really have a clue what it could be. I'm not experienced like that.
they did state that um, they're referring them to as aircraft, um, but they say that they're not displaying any characteristics that are not currently within the U.S. inventory, nor in any foreign inventory that we are aware of.
So I think when they say that, they are not classifying it as belonging to a nation just based off its characteristics that they can see. I think that's what that
Okay,
means. Does that
that
make
leads
sense to
us
you?
into a more specific direction. Um, it's just it's just all up to them if they really want to just put in more time to get a clear cut answer for everybody. But they're basically just trying to say that at the very least, it's not a threat.
Right. So they've looked into it to the point where they deemed it unnecessary for them to look into further, which the U.S. military is not necessarily concerned with the procurement of new information about space. They're not
Yeah.
looking to learn; they're looking to protect the public.
Well,
So,
does that sit well with you guys? Knowing that there is this footage is confirmed. We know it's or they're saying it's not a threat. Like, do you guys trust that? Do you feel comfortable with that?
yeah, I don't see any issue with that.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, I trust that it's not a threat, but I don't trust that it's not anything really worth importance, if that makes sense. Like we know that the government is like hiding a lot of stuff from us, a lot of
Oh yeah.
information. So that's
Yeah,
the part where I'm skeptical. Like
well,
I'm fine with it not being a threat, but I just want more info.
I think it's
Mhm.
true that they are hiding information actively, but we also have to understand that this was hidden information for a very long time.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that it's hidden information that's not worth their time. There could be something much more nefarious going on. We could speculate all
Yeah.
day about conspiracies. Um,
Mhm.
if you guys don't have any further thoughts on what's been talked about so far, I do have another little piece to tease you with here about the UFOs. Do you guys have anything to say?
no. Let's
Can
I'd
we move
say
on?
go for it. That say
check it
sounds
out. Yeah.
interesting.
So, going back to what Kenny said about how they report things, they actually have guidelines for reporting UFOs. Uh, you know, the term UFO is like a very open term, and my cam just zoomed away. The UFO is a very open term. It essentially means that it's something but we don't know what it is. So they obviously have guidelines for reporting that kind of thing. And a related article from CNN once again, they were talking about their guidelines for doing that kind of thing. So they specifically say the Navy does not think that aliens have been flying in the U.S. airspace. One Navy official told CNN. But there have been a number of reports of unauthorized and or unidentified aircraft entering various military-controlled ranges and designated airspace in recent years, according to the statement. These kinds of incursions can be both a security risk and pose a safety hazard for both Navy and Air Force aviation. For safety and security concerns, the Navy and the USAF takes these reports very seriously and investigates each and every report. So now understanding that their guidelines are a little more strict, uh, do you guys still humor the idea that there's something alien out there, or I mean, I don't think we're going to get to a point where we're coming to conclusions ourselves,
Mhm.
but I like to hear the speculation. And if you guys have any idea on what this might be, go ahead and shoot.
I just feel like even if anything were to like enter those airspaces, like how what's to say that they always are gonna know that something entered it? That's kind of just like my point. Like
Well,
we have these things of like things being caught on tape or being caught on like film and then it being released years later, but who's to say there's stuff that's not caught or just eyewitness stuff like that that nobody ever hears of again?
um, there is radar to understand when something comes into our airspace, but we also have technologies that circumvent radar. So that's an interesting point. Um, I I assume that they take these things into consideration when they look at UFO sightings and they're investigating very seriously, as they said.
Yeah.
Who's to know who that falls upon or what they mean by investigating thoroughly? Um, Personally, I find it tough to speculate when in the absence of any real evidence. Uh, you know, um, we could say that there's something there. We could say that it's an issue with the technology, and I think that might be our best option, our best assumption, at least. It is very much an assumption that it is an issue with their technology, given how far apart these things happen, because there is a margin of error.
Hmm. Uh, I would like to see that, if they do speculate that it is a drone, I would like to see, if there's any way they can go about trying to actually confirm that it is indeed a drone. So just so we understand that, everything that we see that we consider a UFO might not necessarily always have to, go right to being an alien or something like that.
Hmm.
So that's something that will always be on my mind. So I can't necessarily, I for me, I want it to be an alien. I really do, but I can't. My mind tells me I want it. It's going to be an alien, but the reality is that we don't we haven't confirmed. We haven't went into too much detail to confirm exactly what the objects are, and it's not even just one object. We're talking multiple occasions here. For me, I would really like to see if we can at least confirm that one of the objects is indeed a drone, for example.
Well, I think the fact is that tonight we have proved the existence of the supernatural when you came on our stream as a ghost. So I think we can get to the bottom of the aliens right here. We can figure out if that's a drone
Yeah,
right here and now.
actually, right now.
I think Luigi's just gonna be
Um,
the thumbnail for this episode's.
I should.
that'll be brilliant. We'll have him
Right in.
floating in the blue void. That said, I think we have some thought experiments here. And I'd like to entertain the idea that what if it were an alien? And what aliens would be capable of if they were capable of getting here. So, as we've seen in our solar system, there's pretty much zero evidence of any life in, the last how many thousands of years that we've studied. Um, we haven't been studying the planets for that long, but you know what I mean. The fact that we can see evidence of water or ravines on Mars and things like that. So given that the aliens would have to fly quite the distance to get here, don't you think that they would have to be able to observe that there's something worth getting to in our solar system? And that to me says
Yeah.
that they don't really have to be flying down into our atmosphere to get a good look at us.
No, they
I mean,
can.
this is all science fiction that I'm talking about.
It's this. So this is just like, I'm gonna put this out there. It's not like fact or anything like that. But think of, if aliens are like greater beings do exist, if they're X amount of years like ahead of us, wouldn't they have something to be able to look at us from where they are compared to coming like to us?
I have a counterpoint. So think about how if you're looking out at a star with your telescope, like
Mm,
sure, our technology is not going to be as advanced as theirs, but if you're looking at a star with a telescope, think about how many light years away that is, and think about you're seeing it potentially millions of years before, because that's how light is traveling. If the sun went out, we wouldn't know for 8 minutes because it's 8 light minutes away. So they would probably want to do closer observation instead of looking through a telescope, because that's not going to be now, that's not going to be current what is going on this planet. They just see life. If they're looking, they could be seeing dinosaurs. They could be seeing nothing at all. Like,
I
you have
love
to
that.
think about that distance.
that's
I can
true.
provide a counterpoint to
Yeah,
that
let me get one too
because
again.
okay, go
Again,
ahead, Ken. I've been talking a lot.
The technology, we don't know if they have advanced technology that blows
Um,
past all of that stuff.
I don't
I
think
think
that
That's
they're gonna blow. I'm sorry for interrupting literally everyone right now. But I don't think they'd have technology that would blow past the laws of physics. But that said, the fact of the matter is that these UFOs are in our atmosphere. They can be beyond our atmosphere and still see a pretty accurate picture of what's going on down here.
It's true.
Unless they're trying to get a nice angle.
I have a very solid piece of information that actually supports Hannah's counter argument. One very common trait that we see with UFOs is that they're very abrupt and very quick. So that being said, I do think there's a very possibility. I'm not saying it's true, but there's a very possibility that they can move faster than us. How fast, I don't know, but definitely faster than us.
But doesn't that also support the idea that they're just an anomaly on video? Because
Oh
the
yes,
anomaly would, happen very quickly,
I
and
think it
therefore,
supports
the
both.
better the technology, the lower margin of error, therefore, the quicker the anomaly.
Mm.
Hmm.
Um, I just want to say, to be honest with you guys, and it kind of wigs me out, is that you know how telescopes work, right? They use mirrors.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Our telescopes use mirrors. That means we wouldn't know about the existence of space vampires until it was too late. We would be dead.
we would.
Hmm.
They'd already be
I'm
down on
scared.
us.
We'd have all the time in the world to see them, and we wouldn't be able to do it.
At least Luigi would be safe.
I'll be safe
Luigi
because
was
I'm
already
already in outer
taken by them.
space. I've been abducted.
Excuse me?
So, what do you guys have anything else to say on the matter? You guys have any thought experiments or things to tease?
I
Dracula
just
2020 for president.
Space Dracula.
I
Space
hope that
Dracula.
I get to see an alien before I die. One
You're
day.
Luigi,
already
you see
dead,
an
man.
alien every time you look in the mirror.
True.
I can't get over it. Like, you're just floating. I don't even see your hair. It's just a head and a shirt.
This right here
So-
is why you need to watch the podcast live.
It really
Like,
So you can see the
you're not
anomaly.
gonna be seeing this on Spotify. You're not gonna be seeing this on Apple Music, whatever the hell. Like,
No,
you gotta watch this live.
that's
or
why
on
he's gonna be the
YouTube.
thumbnail.
I'm
You
like
know-
a tourist attraction essentially.
The thing is that you're not even seeing the full picture if you're watching us live, because in the Zoom call, there's a black background that perfectly blends in with Luigi's background, and therefore he's floating in the program. Out like it it goes beyond the realms of his camera into my computer.
It's
And
so
it's
good.
like He's
The
haunting my
void.
screen.
Like I hope you guys know I'm not kidding. Like the thumbnail's literally just gonna say aliens, and then it's gonna be Luigi staring into his camera.
Can
The
we
perfectly
have-
symmetrical middle of cam.
It's a special
Can
episode.
we have Luigi doing the aliens pose from Ancient Aliens? Just
Oh my
aliens.
god.
Luigi, can you do it? Can you do it, please?
Let me try.
No, raise your
He
hands
did the
more.
face too well.
There it is.
Doesn't he do more like?
Oh man.
Oh, let me put a marker
Okay.
down.
There it is.
So-
you gotta put a marker on that.
We've had our weekly Luigi Rip Fest.
Hope you enjoyed
Kenny,
it.
Okay.
Moving on from aliens, we have some other cool news that we want to talk about this week.
Are you really gonna make me
and
talk about Fortnite? No, I'm kidding.
I guess we're talking about Fortnite, Kenny. If you want to talk about it so bad,
No,
I mean, you're bringing it up out of nowhere. I was gonna talk about the virus, but I mean, go ahead.
oh, okay. I mean, all right. So,
No,
something cool. I mean, they make me out to be this person that plays Fortnite a lot. I really don't. I check the item shop and I buy things if it looks cool because I'm weird.
You were
Oh,
checking the
no,
item shop, and
no,
that's
man,
enough.
Stop.
That's enough for me.
That's strike 1, 2, and 3. Is
Bro,
buy things.
Okay, I don't hate
Deadpool is in
Fortnite.
there. It's
I don't
cool.
hate Fortnite. I literally
Okay.
do it because it's funny, and then,
It's 'cause it's a
Kenny's my
meme.
lifelong friend, and like
Yeah.
therefore I'm going to take any opportunity. So give me more, please. Go ahead.
So Epic Games is straying. They're actually not straying away from it, but they're adding alternatives that you can go to besides just playing the BR or creative mode or the single player mode. They are adding a party mode where there's no weapons, no fighting. You're just like doing things on maps. This is like, I don't know. I haven't seen this in gaming since I can really think about. It's kind of the same thing, like custom games in Halo. Sorry, Luigi, I'm taking it.
Go for it.
The weekly Halo mention.
The weekly Halo mention. But think about like Halo custom games. Sure, there's like fighting and stuff, but think about those old game modes where you'd like race cars or like Ice Cream Man, stuff like that. That's the kind of sense that I'm getting that Fortnite's trying to do. I personally like the idea. I might give it a try, but I think this is like a good step in the right direction for them as a company. I don't know. What do you guys think about this?
So before we move on to input, I would like to read a little bit about it from an article on Kotaku, if that's cool with everyone. Just so we all have a baseline of what the mode is about. Because I did get an inkling of it, but there's a little more to it in terms of how it's defined. So Kotaku by Riley McLeod said, Fortnite's Party Royale mode adds a map, removes building and weapons. Following a leak this morning, Fortnite's latest mode is now live in the game. Party Royale mode features a new island map. Instead of building and shooting, players go fishing, do time trials, and just hang out. So essentially what happens in Luigi's basement. Rumors of Party Royale spread this following morning following Fortnite's 12.50 patch, with some saying that the new mode would appear for testing on Friday night, but nope, it's live now. Its in-game description reads, all chill, no sweat, there are no weapons or building. Instead, the mode is described as a place to hang out with friends. There's no storm circle or a time limit. Vending machines dispense free, non-damaging items like paint guns and grenades, tomatoes you can throw, fishing poles, and a bow that shoots plungers.
Excuse me really quick.
Wonders?
Non-damaging items, and they list grenades.
That's a good point.
I'm realizing the way that they have it like in their grammar, like paint guns and grenades. I'm sure they mean like paint grenades.
Or it could be a boogie bomb.
Yes,
I
that
hope
is so. Yes, it's paint
Oh.
guns and grenades, comma. There's no comma in between paint guns
Yeah.
and grenades. So you're right. You're correct in assuming that. I would like to say that while these items are not necessarily physically damaging, I feel like a paint gun could be really emotionally damaging, really ruin a nice set of clothes. Luigi's completely white right now.
I don't,
He got hit with the paint gun.
He got hit with it. You're glowing, dude.
Am I really?
he's ascending. They're
Okay.
taking him, boys.
You've reached enlightenment.
Oh
So-
man, that's really bright.
Kenny, given what a fan you are of Fortnite,
Great.
do you think a mode like this is something you'd like to see implemented elsewhere?
I think I think I would, honestly, in different games. Like, obviously, it has to be the right game for it. You wouldn't put like a party mode in like Gears of War where you're gonna hang out with the locusts. But
But
I
isn't that
think,
what this is?
Oh, I would love that. Are you kidding me?
I mean, no, not really, but
But
I
isn't this like a game that's essentially like a lot about competition and killing and stuff, where they're putting,
Very true.
you know?
not necessarily. If you think of Fortnite, there's different aspects of Fortnite. Like, of course, there's the battle royale. That's the biggest thing. But even if people have played the single player mode, you can make friends and like do things with friends in that game more over than just like battling people and being competitive. Like, it's not meant to just be a competitive game.
I think that this game mode really fits for Fortnite because of the age demographic that they really try to focus on. Like,
Mhm.
you're seeing so many younger kids, early teens playing this game, and sometimes you just want to hang out, you just want to chill, you don't want to constantly have to like jump into a game, like, but you still want to play this game with your friends, you know?
Especially during
It works for the
quarantine.
demographic.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree with that, and honestly, Hannah, that's the first thing that came to mind is the age.
Hmm.
Because
I
there's a
think
lot of little kids who want to play Fortnite like their big brother, but they don't want to compete.
I don't
Yeah.
think necessarily like you're gonna find someone in their 30s or 40s hanging out in that kind of space. I could be wrong, but I think yeah, it is gonna be towards like a lower age group.
Catch me there, ironically, in 10 years because you said that once on a podcast.
I'm gonna be there. It's fine. So also, there's one more thing that I want to go on to that Epic Games has added to the game that's very like interesting to me. But do you guys have anything else you want to add on to this?
I kind of wanted to ask Hannah how she felt about it being, because I feel like a big chunk of your gaming interest is in Animal Crossing, right? And what is
Yep.
Animal Crossing more than like
Oh my
a
god,
daily life simulator where you hang out and
fish.
do activities? Yeah. Do you think that this is your new Animal Crossing?
Oh god, no.
I actually
I
already
do
saw her playing
Fortnite.
it.
You and Kenny can finally play Fortnite together. Think about it.
Oh, oh no. He literally I will tell you guys a little story. He literally dragged me into the office the other night just so that he could show me the new Deadpool cosmetics.
It looks
Like,
pretty cool.
he was so excited.
No, I was trying to show her the Travis Scott concert because I got in on the first show.
Oh my god. Okay. That's a I don't know if we want to go into that right now, but holy shit. That
was-
almost made me download Fortnite.
Dude, it was so good. I was watching
He
it.
is nuts.
I was
watched
watching
the
it
video.
here, and it was insane. Like, I was like, what the hell what am I doing with my life?
Well, they tied it in with a new song too. They dropped the Scots.
Yeah, it's
That
smart
was-
marketing. It was
Oh, it's
incredible.
very smart
Incredible.
marketing.
Incredible.
Epic Games does things really smart most of the time. I don't know.
Yeah, they haven't really misstepped. Aside from some philosophies about the Epic Store being a little more consumer friendly than it is developer friendly, but that's not a black and white issue.
Hmm.
But continue.
All right, so the next thing I wanted to go on to, we're moving away from the concert. I want to move on to the second game mode that they're actually adding. If you guys have heard about this, so of course we have the
I
new
have
party
not.
mode. They actually have a new mode. Let me see really quick what it's called. But essentially, if you guys know like how Overwatch or Team Fortress is, where you move a payload, that's
Ooh.
that's what it's like. It's actually called payload. So there's two teams. Obviously, one team's supposed to move their payload from their site over to the enemy's payload and obviously blow it up. There's no special abilities or anything that they added to the game. It's more of a you still have like the same weapons, but you're able to respawn over and over to push this payload towards the enemy's side. It's I don't know. I think that's smart, especially with everything going on with Team Fortress 2 right now. How the game is basically unplayable because of hackers and people bugging the game. I like that. Like, I can see
So-
myself actually trying this.
I'm interested in why. You didn't really. This isn't something we talked about beforehand. I'm curious as to what interests you about this mode in particular, and its ramifications.
So
Are you
coming
just really interested in Fortnite?
no. Just like from a personal standpoint, I grew up when I first got my computer, Team Fortress was like the biggest thing. So I played hundreds of hours of Team Fortress 2. I kind of fell out of it just because it was the same thing over and over. But even just to give it a try, I'm interested in it just because it reminds me of that when I used to play that. So take it, it might be just a nostalgia kind of thing. That's like my reasons for it.
So does Overwatch not scratch that itch for you? Because
No,
Overwatch, if anything, is like try hard TF2.
I don't.
Yeah.
As someone who's played thousands of hours.
The only thing I like in not in Team Fortress, in Overwatch is like when you, Luigi, and I play 3v3s. I don't like the base
That's my
game mode
favorite
at all.
thing.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm weird. It's just
my take. I'm sorry to interrupt, but my take on Epic adding these game modes, ultimately what I like about it is they know that not everybody's interested in just playing a battle royale, and it's really nice to see that they add ways for more people to be able to play the game, like giving people different options to play, like how they want to play the game, essentially.
I see Kenny nodding like, yep, they're great. They're great. Love them.
use creator code Mythros in the item shop. What?
And I think a lot of other games have done that really well, like Counter-Strike did the whole surfing thing. Just a small example. So I do think.
That's
Well,
all
those were
community
mods.
though.
That was a community
Yeah.
mod.
Oh, it was.
That's not
Okay,
base.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was using their physics system, using some loopholes in it. Yeah.
You get the idea. Like, not everybody's interested in a battle royale.
I'm
I'm
certainly
really
not
interested
interested
in
in
that.
Fortnite in the slightest.
Yeah,
Not everyone's interested in a battle royale, but CS:GO added a battle royale too, by the way.
Didn't they do that a while ago?
Yeah, they
everybody
did.
likes to chill out once in a while, and everybody likes to try uh new things. Like, have you guys ever thought about seeing your favorite game in a different type of formula, essentially? I think that's really cool.
I think some games are built for it, but I think honestly Fortnite just has they have the leeway. They can do whatever they want. They can throw in any kind of simple experimental mode. They're not breaking any ground on this. It's a simple payload. Um, I really don't think that this is a revelation for the industry.
No,
I
not in
think
the
it's cool
slightest.
to see them
No,
echo
this is
some other
definitely different.
games, but at the end of the day, they're really screaming for children to be like, "This is better than Overwatch."
It's
You
almost like
know,
kind of monopolizing the market, but I definitely don't think
it's
it's gonna
not.
essentially take over.
I do
Where
not think Fortnite has any opportunity to monopolize anything.
No.
it's they're giving multiple ways to play their game.
Epic Games certainly has the opportunity to step forward in a monopoly in terms of how they're selling their games. But they're not even the only viable BR. They're not even the only good BR.
Yeah, no, of course not.
They have the money, they're gonna try new stuff at the end of the day.
No,
Yeah.
it's their product, and what's better than trying to make your product as accessible as possible to all types of audiences?
Yeah,
I don't
they,
necessarily think this is a step forward for accessibility.
no,
I think
because
it's interesting that they're shaking it up. I think that's basically the talking point.
It adds a little bit of a
Pretty good.
diversity to play modes that you see in different games.
Right.
Like with the payload in Overwatch. Like, yeah, that's fun. Sometimes it can be a little bit repetitive in my opinion. Uh but being able to see it in a different perspective with a different game, I think that part is pretty interesting. But for it
Well,
to go any further than
right.
that, I don't
Yeah.
see much with it.
no, I agree. I just like I said, I think it's cool that they're just adding to the game at this point. Everybody's stuck inside with quarantine, so it's like, why not have new options to try? I already play Fortnite. Let me try this. Like,
Play Fortnite with Kenny.
I
could
don't. You're
definitely
not gonna
say,
catch me on Fortnite. I'm sorry.
I
Play
could definitely say
Fortnite.
that most of the games that I favor or enjoy a lot are the games that allow me to play however I really want to play the game.
Halo
Hey,
3
Luigi,
bridge
have you
map.
played Fortnite?
Kirby Era,
Bridge, Halo 3 bridge map. So, viewers, we're gonna touch on a little point. because we
great.
have a running joke where every time we jump into Luigi's stream, he's playing 2v2s on the same bridge on Halo 3 every single time. It's the
That's not
same
true.
map, same game mode
Not true.
every single time we jump in there. And we're getting suspicious that he's not actually playing anything else in the game.
Awesome.
I see him kill 2 people with a rocket on the underside of the bridge and then use a jump pad and be like, "Oh, it's that."
No, Luigi's been playing Apex lately. I can vouch.
I've been
Yeah.
playing a lot of things lately.
All right. I think this is a good opportunity to move on to our next subject instead of talking about stupid bridge.
I really want to talk about the bridge, though.
Arrows is one of the greatest maps ever.
So, moving on, talking about products and marketing and such. Assassin's Creed Valhalla was recently announced, and they went about this in such an interesting way that I thought it was worth talking about. So, earlier today, about 12 hours ago now, they live streamed. It's literally what is the program they're using, Kenny? It's
That's
Adobe.
Photoshop.
Is it Photoshop?
Let
Yeah,
me
that's
check.
Photoshop.
I thought it was like Illustrator or something. Anyways, um, they're using Photoshop live on stream, and they're making a background. And I think all they said was Assassin's Creed before this actually happened. They hadn't announced the title. I tuned into it for a little bit while I was at work. Like, what the hell is this?
Mhm.
And they had a graphic designer actively making their promotional material live on stream as their announcement. Now, I think this is really interesting, especially since Assassin's Creed is such a big franchise.
Mhm.
I kind of want to, I'd like to talk about it, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this approach. Hannah, we
So-
haven't heard from you in a while.
I think it's a really interesting approach. I've never in my experience, I've never seen anybody go about announcing a game in this way. Like this live stream was 8 hours and 10 minutes, and you had to like go through that journey. All you knew was Assassin's Creed. You had no idea what was going on. Like you were suspicious about like this is a new game. But for that to be like the kind of the unveiling, like a very extended teaser of this is what we're working on. This is what we are going to be giving to you. Like it's such a from a creative perspective, it's so incredible to see because you're understanding that process of what it takes to even just make visuals for like an advertisement. Like
Right.
that's something that people don't typically think about when looking at like even a game's cover art, you know?
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, it's so overlooked.
yeah, seeing the hard work and seeing how long it took. I skipped through that video and there were parts that I noticed where I was like, "Huh, how did he like get from this to this?" And then I went back and I like fully watched. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is incredible." Almost forgetting that this is like a game announcement, but then it made me more invested in what the game is gonna be like.
No, that said, would you say that speaks to the credibility of the live stream that this is an actual graphic artist creating art live? Do you think it was like a real deal?
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
think so.
Mhm.
For
That's
it to
crazy.
be over 8 hours, there's no way that it
Yeah.
wasn't.
That's the part that struck me is that it's real work.
Yeah.
Kenny, I interrupted the crap out of you to hear from Hannah.
No, she pretty much took it right out of my mouth. Like, as a graphic designer, someone who does like this type of work that trailer was is just like, first off, on the company's part, that's really cool that they made that the announcement, to have somebody who has that talent be able to do the announcement. And like even if that's the cover art per se, I don't know. I like that approach. I don't see that. I see cinematics, I see trailers, I see like social media announcements. I don't see stuff like that. Like that's what's interesting to me. That's what catches my attention.
I would like to say, I think it brings up a really interesting I mentioned this a little bit before, like, you're having a greater appreciation for the work that's actually going into it, because think about there's been so much, like, negativity in the gaming industry recently. Let's take Last of Us 2, for example, where it's like crunch time, constantly being delayed, things like that. But this is giving you a little bit more of a perspective that even for that cover art, it takes a full day's work to get that stuff done. Like, it takes a long time, and people are like, they need to be able to understand that these are actual people creating this stuff, and they're not gonna work well under crunch time, so it gives you that greater appreciation of what it takes to even go into a game. If that's all the visual of the announcement is, then we're gonna be blown away by what's actually put into the game itself.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I
I
think that's a good demonstration of their appreciation for their game.
Yeah.
Right. However, I do want to speak on the fact that this is not indicative of any of Ubisoft's in-house team's work. Because I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but this video is actually a collaboration with a popular graphic artist who has about 1.9 million followers on Instagram. I'm going to drop his link in the chat right now, but his name is Boss Logic. He's in the title.
Hmm.
Mhm.
He has his own community and everything. And more than anything, I do agree with you guys. This shines an excellent light on the graphic design community. But not only that, but they literally took someone from the community
Yeah.
and had them live stream their work. And that really says something. It really shows appreciation for those content creators that are not doing things that are necessarily easily visible.
No,
Um,
people
so
people think that designs and ideas just rise from the ground and form themselves. Like, we got to
Absolutely.
watch this 8-hour process of just this one image. Like, I don't know, that shit's cool.
I
it's
have a lot of
brilliant.
for Ubisoft for having a community member be a part of something so important that it like you're taking someone, you're taking a content creator and you're having them advertise a potential new title for you. Like that's like a dream come true for like most of us, and like you like they put a lot of trust into that guy. You know what I mean? That's crazy to me.
I mean, they can. His portfolio speaks for itself if you go to his
Oh,
Instagram.
Oh yeah.
But I would like to make the point that his name is plastered all over this live stream, and he has been thoroughly promoted by Ubisoft, which to me says that there is opportunity out there for graphic artists to be more than someone who does commissions. You can really make a name for yourself. It's brilliant. It's genuinely brilliant. I love the whole approach. I love that they did it in such an unorthodox way. I love the fact that the medium itself, live streaming actual graphic design work, creates suspense and hype just by existing. Because as soon as that live stream goes live, people are tuning in and being like, "Oh my god, what is this?" And
hmm
then slowly, as he completes the picture, you're finding out more and more about the next reveal. I genuinely think every aspect of this was brilliant. I think it was such a good move. Now, if you were to ask me about their games, I would not probably give certain praise, but I think that this move in particular, in terms of marketing, was maybe the best thing they could have done at this point in time in general. I thought it was brilliant. I loved it.
I want to
Yeah,
see
more
more
people
stuff
have
like
time
this.
on their hands too.
I would like to see more stuff like this. What'd you say, Luigi?
It's smart too because more people have time to actually sit through and watch that, or at least be participating in that live stream for a
Yes,
little
because
bit
of
because of
the
the
quarantine.
current events. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good point. I don't think that anyone who was not particularly interested in graphic design was sitting there looking at every step.
hmm
But if you were like me, I tuned in and was like, "What the hell? I'm gonna have to come back later." You had plenty of time to do that.
hmm
So I think this was a very classy move. I think awesome way of getting the community involved. Whoever came up with this was just excellent.
Yeah, I would love to see more approaches like this.
That
Not that doesn't
said,
have to be specifically that, but it'd be nice to see more.
I think this method of advertisement brought on by them shows way more awareness of how the community works and even more self-awareness on Ubisoft's part than they have shown with their past like 6 games.
Yeah.
They're
Honestly.
very understanding of what works and what doesn't here, and what the community responds to.
I definitely think, I don't know, Ubisoft's one of the smarter companies when it comes to that stuff. I know
To a fault.
to a fault, but when I think of like other big companies, I'm not gonna mention any names. I definitely think that they have a smarter approach towards things and that they actually like listen, even if it takes a bit.
I would like to say the reason I say to a fault is because a lot of their games get a little formulaic. They understand uh, what really hits that dopamine receptor, and they turned every single one of their games into it. You look at Far Cry, you look at The Division, you look at Assassin's Creed, you look at Watch Dogs, and what happens when you pull up a map? You see a huge set of icons and activities all over the open world that are really repetitive and formulaic, but completing them and ticking them off like a checklist really just, it hits your brain right.
Yeah.
So I do think that it's a bit shallow, but the fact that it is that they standardize their games in such a way that they wanted to optimize that kind of thing, which, like I said, is smart to a fault. I think it's smart enough that they're making moves like that, but they really kind of missed the heart of things.
Would you say that Ubisoft is more of a community-driven company? Like, do you think that they
I would literally have
constantly
never said
support
that before today, and after today, I probably would have said it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
very, very valid?
Because
I agree with
they're
that, yeah.
AAA developer. Generally, as we've seen, AAA developers have been pretty out of touch, especially when it comes to Ubisoft and EA in particular.
Yeah,
God.
I'm a very strong believer that the community just plays such a key role into any success with the game or a franchise.
I think there's evidence both for and against that statement.
I agree with that as well.
I'd be interested to see. I mean, maybe we could talk about another podcast. The counter to that.
Hannah's yawning. Hannah, tell us a story.
One time I was born. The end.
Did that wake you up?
I ended up accidentally taking a nap before podcast.
No,
I
I'm roasting you live.
I woke her up
We
15
roasted
minutes
Luigi.
before we
It's
had to
Hannah's
start.
turn.
What
What'd
do you
you say,
mean?
Kevin?
I woke her up 15 minutes before we started podcast. So
Oh my
I mean,
God.
there's that. As I have been chugging
It's
stuff.
okay. We rose Luigi from the dead about 20 minutes before, so you're not alone.
It's Squidward's ghost.
Watermelon fresh from the manure field.
Can we do that to Luigi? Can we drop it into his mouth?
Oh my
Just
god!
drop a watermelon on him.
Would you
Great.
like that?
No,
Why?
Generic.
I don't like it.
Do you like that?
Do you like that?
Come on,
Awesome.
Luigi, tell us.
Tell us what.
I don't know. Tell us something about yourself. Tell us a story.
Do you want to know what I did today?
I don't actually. All right, so moving
I
on.
don't like that question.
Wait, no, actually, can you tell us what you did today?
I installed insulation and drywall today, and I learned how to do that, and it was actually kind of fun.
Did you
Where?
breathe enough of it in?
Wait, what? I'm sorry, what?
Where did
Did you breathe?
Oh,
Did you
Did
breathe
I,
enough
I
of it
did
in?
not breathe it in because
he did. He's dead now.
That's why he died.
Open windows.
Open windows.
it-
That's all he says.
This was no. I said we had a lot of circulation with open windows, but you didn't hear me because you were cutting me off.
Yeah, Kenny,
Anyway.
how rude.
Oh no, it was at my brother's house. So that was fun. Did we
Spit it out.
I'm trying not to spit out my water.
Anything else you want to know?
No, so we kind of glossed over this week, but I'd like to give a little bit more time each week to how we've been doing. I'd like to, start testing the waters a little bit and how we're feeling, how we're doing, what we've been up to. I want to hear what's going on in your guys' lives. We can save that for the ends. I think that's cool too.
Yeah, I like that.
I think I like
So, in particular, I know Kenny's really been on his video grind, his YouTube video grind. I want to hear some about that because you just dropped a hot one today.
I have been slaving at my computer because I am obsessed with making videos because for some reason it's a blast. Like, I love live streaming, don't get me wrong. I prefer live streaming over like video making because you can actually connect with your community in live, like real time. But something about like putting together all these things, filming something, like having it be yours, and like getting to sit down and really dive deep into everything, it's just like it's almost an addicting feeling. Like I've pushed 2 or 3 videos this week, and I want to push more. I have like a board full of ideas that I'm going to be kind of going through the next month, but it just keeps me organized too. Like the
So,
more I push out content, the better I feel.
can you give us any insight into the process? Is this something that you do to unwind and relax, or is this something that you're hard at work on?
It's a little bit of both. I am hard at work on this. Like you can ask Hannah, even when she walks in, she'll say like a full sentence or like 3 or 5 or 7, and I'm just like, what? Because
I'll have a whole
dead.
conversation. Great.
That- Everyone wave bye. Bye, Kenny. For those listening, Kenny's mic or Kenny's cam died.
Great.
So I don't know what happened. I think Luigi is doing
Luigi sucked me
some
into
kind
the
of
void.
yeah. You got sucked into the void.
But no, it's a like I'm hard at work on this, but at the same time, like getting to sit back, put everything together is like very relaxing. Like seeing something come to life, putting things where they need to go specifically. Like I love doing that. It's relaxing to me.
Yeah, you're.
That's
you're on-
awesome.
Oh man, I can't talk.
And you know what? It shows the quality of your videos is insane, Kenny.
Thank you.
Yes.
Honestly, something I would love to strive for myself.
I just wish that I got into this like a little bit sooner, just because I know it's at this point. I'd say personally, it's hard to get into YouTube. Even having a platform and a community kind of already built up, it's still a struggle. It's not easy.
I was talking about this in particular, but the reason that TikTok is kind of really popular is their lack of regulation on their content. And when I say that, it also includes their algorithm because you can see the most heinous stuff on the For You page on TikTok, like as soon as you boot up the app. But like you go on YouTube and everything is algorithms, and it's going to determine whether you're seen by new people or not. And frankly, even if you can appeal to what they want, you're not necessarily going to be put into the algorithm. So while I think you're creating genuinely awesome content and you have a great community around you, I think that you deserve more exposure.
I like not to toot my own horn, but I would completely agree.
Okay, we didn't ask you to toot your own horn. No, that's the issue.
We didn't ask Luigi to come back from the dead, but he's here, so I mean.
Luigi, what have you been up to this week besides walling
Drywall.
with the Pink Panther?
So I've also been editing montages still. It's something that I do.
I'd like to hold on real quick. I'm gonna interrupt Luigi. I just saw Kenny's shadow pass by Hannah, so he walked away from his setup.
Awesome.
Where is he gone?
Gone. The host is gone.
All right, go ahead.
But in the same sense as Kenny, it's a lot of hard work that I do love. Personally, gets a lot of the emotions flowing through
Are you
me.
talking about drywall?
Yeah, no, talking about video. I'm talking about video editing.
Oh, okay.
So I do like a lot of the Halo montages still and whatnot. And it's just something. It's just like one of my main things I love doing. But aside from that, is actually learning more stuff about video editing. And other than that, I've just been organizing all of my trading cards actually, and buying and selling them for like the last week now. It's been going pretty good. I've sold a few, and I've also ordered a few that I really wanted to add to my collection. So something that I haven't been able to put a lot of time into recently, or like even just the past like few months, is something that I took a long break from. So that actually feels really good to do.
Cool.
And other than that, I mean, it's basically anything else I've kind of talked about with my life in other podcasts. What about you, Hannah?
Honestly, this past week I've just kind of been like chilling. I've been doing more like craft stuff, trying to get my creative spark back because I fell out of it a while ago. Um I've been working on more emotes. I've been doing more embroidery. And last night, actually, Kenny was sitting outside with me for about 2 hours
It was almost like
as
3 hours.
as I was making a flower crown in celebration of Beltane, which starts April 30th or
Oh,
tomorrow for
I think I
us.
know someone who really loves that holiday.
Oh. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so I made a massive flower crown that if you guys want to see it, you can go to my Twitter. It's there.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It
Thank
is really
you.
cool.
Yeah, I
It's
saw it. Yeah.
it's a lot bigger than I expected it to be.
I was a White Claw and 30 ounces of a Mai Tai down watching it happen, and I was just like, what the hell is going on?
I'm sorry. Did you say 30 ounces of a Mai Tai? How
Yes.
big was the Mai Tai?
45 ounces.
Okay. I'm surprised you're not with Luigi.
Dude, same.
Dead.
Trust me. I was supposed to work on my video last night after we finished hanging out outside. I laid in bed and I was like, I cannot get up. I am dead.
I love my
No, I think you fell asleep before me.
I did. I put like 15 shots of Malibu in that thing. It's fine.
Oh my god! I thought you had like trauma from Malibu because
No, I love
last
Malibu.
time you had Malibu around me, you almost died.
It's fine.
Story
Jake-
time?
Jake,
I just want to drop a couple words for you
What's
guys to
that?
think on, the viewers at home.
It's not gonna make any
it's a
sense.
simple 2 words, and you guys can contemplate on it and how it has to do with the situation. But I'd like to say, blood cocoon. That's it. That's all I'm gonna
I
say.
know what that is.
Ah, bah, bah, okay.
Awesome.
Luigi's drywall.
On the podcast. Great. Jake, we never got to talk about what you've been up to. You've been up to
Deflecting.
something pretty awesome.
Kenny, can you say what you just said louder because I didn't hear you?
I said deflecting.
Deflecting.
Luigi
I'm
wants to get away
deflecting.
from the issue.
Okay.
I was about to advertise Luigi's new bakery, but never mind.
I don't have a bakery.
You've been selling drywall cookies?
What?
I don't know.
That was something you would have said if I was drinking water.
I was waiting.
Tried not to spit it out.
Now, what's Jake
okay,
been
so,
up to?
yeah, I've been on my grind. It's a little tough to see in the cameras. I have big ass dark circles under my eyes. I have not had a day off since the Sunday before this past Sunday. I have been working every 12-hour shift I can get, plus a 40-hour week, trying to just make as much money as possible and help out as much as I can around the boys' home. And in the meantime, between doing these things, I've been finding my zen in running. I've been, really trying to force myself to get out there, or at least during the first week I was. So I've been going out, I've been putting in headphones, and I've been running as long as I can, just working out, just jogging. And this is something I haven't done in a while, so it took a bit to get back into. But after the first week, I really hit my stride. And I got to tell you guys about a product that changed my life. So, if you've ever hung out with me in person, I push up my glasses all the time. They're always falling off my freaking weird face. And I'm sure you guys have seen it or noticed or something. I have solved it. I bought
Super
wax. I bought wax for my glasses. It comes in a little lip balm tube, and I rub it on like my nose piece. And when I run, my glasses don't even fall off. It was awesome. So, I'm not gonna drop any brands unless they're trying to pay me, but, look into it, guys.
Really, the wax. Well, I don't have.
Yeah,
wax.
Luigi, you can put it on your coffin so it stays in the grave.
Awesome.
But yes, I've been running quite a bit. I've been really hitting my stride. I've been using it as an excuse to go exploring. I think that's the most interesting piece about this is
That's
I've been
smart.
all over my city, and I just wander into different neighborhoods and I pretend I'm exercising, but really I'm like looking for a place to jump into a window.
He's looking for unlocked car doors.
The
Unlocked car doors. I'm the open window maniac.
Oh my god.
So I've been exercising. I've been getting my money up. And I've been trying to do what's best for me.
You're on like the ultimate grind.
I'm on the biggest grind I've ever have been on. And frankly, I haven't been streaming. I haven't been making videos. The best I've been doing is putting out a funny tweet here and there. But I think it's going to pay off. And I think I'm going to be in a better mindset when I do return to content creation because you know what? I'm going to be healthier and happier. And I've been happier and more aware every single day because I've been exercising.
Love to
You
hear
know
it.
what's up? Today, I was going to skip it because yesterday I went hard and I was like, you know what? I can afford a day today. So I ate early because I try not to eat before running. And instead of just skipping out entirely, I actually waited 2.5 hours for me to digest, and then I went out anyways. And
Ooh.
I never would be that type of person, but I've been making the right choices lately, and I'm super proud of it.
Yeah, like you told me, once you have that opportunity to make a great choice, you know,
You
Yeah,
honestly
take
make me
advantage
want to
of
go
it.
running. Like Hannah and I have
dude,
been
it's
going out and finding like new spots to explore in our area, and we've been walking for like hours a day. But I've been thinking about like starting to get up early and go running because I try to get up early, eat, shower, clean the room, clean the house, and then like jump onto my computer, get commissions done. But like I feel like even doing like an hour, hour and a half of running and then going into this, I'd have like a better mindset. I'd be more energized and motivated.
if I'm gonna be real about with it, like about some advice, I'd say the first day is the only one that sucked. I'd
Hmm.
say like I didn't hit my stride for like a week, and that means I wasn't running for long periods until then. But I did feel great after every single time, and the first one was the only one I really had, like, burning lungs and just, really felt it, but after that, it was just kinda going with the flow. I've been using it as a reset. I mentioned finding my zen. It's been my reset. I've been working a very, very stressful job, and going for a run, just popping my headphones in and listening to music is it's been great. I get my mind off of everything. I don't
A
even
lot
think about anything.
a lot of people do it to clear their minds, and like you're not the first person I've heard that says like it removes any negativities from your head, stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
mean, I
I've
should
been
try
going
it.
a route. Yeah, absolutely.
A route.
I think everyone should at least give it a try. At least for your heart health. You know,
Mm.
I want to live a long life, so I'm doing it more for my health, obviously, than anything. But I do think it's worth giving a try. It has been excellent for my state of mind, and you know what, guys? I'm gonna be wicked real with you right now. I have been enjoying my hobbies for the first time in a literal months because I've been exercising regularly. I was in that state where I just wasn't having fun with things anymore, and now it's like, I get what I get done, and now it's new to me again.
Hmm.
I feel that because I recently started to like today I went on a run with Yami before, or I'm sorry, a few hours after dinner. And I've just been going on walks in general after I eat with Yami, and it's been making definitely a difference in
Does he
terms of
mind the saddle or no?
he doesn't mind it.
Do you take the coffee cups off his back before or after the run?
Before.
He can't say anything serious around
No,
us
I'm
anymore.
sorry, Luigi.
I can't.
All right.
God, I just had to hold back from saying something
I know.
again. I'm sorry, Luigi. It's fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll just continue my thing.
Well, that said, I would highly recommend just, getting your exercise in. It's tough. The first few days are always the toughest, but once you get past that, you feel better, you look better. I always care about how I look. You guys see my selfies. Um, but just do your thing.
Yes.
How are you looking on time right now?
We're at an hour and 13 minutes. This is going to be a
Ooh,
longer one, which is fun.
Well, yeah. I think
very
this is a good spot to wrap up.
Yeah.
I do like the concept of ending off by talking about our lives. I think it's a nice winding down period.
I think it's
I
good
agree.
too. It kind of pushes us away from the topics and kind of like towards the conclusion of everything. So I mean,
Right.
if you guys are happy with it, we can wrap it up here. Luigi,
I
what
haven't been
happened to your
naked enough
camera?
on this stream.
What happened to who?
Why is it all of a sudden not bright at the end of podcast?
I don't know,
Your
man.
camera's finally fine for the first time
I
all night.
it has to be like auto exposure.
I
And
mean,
it
a
only
close
kicked
out of
in
a
after an hour and
10.
13 minutes. All right. Well, I'd like to give a heartfelt goodbye to all our friends. Until next time.
Until next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello.
Great.